Yes, people, welcome back.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Hey friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Yan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I went for a run at 7:30 a.m. in the kingdom today, and it was too hot. What's going on with this weather? We have like torrential downpour for like the whole summer, and now I nearly cooked that early in the morning. And as you can see, I'm still very red. I had a cold shower, dude. I can't cool down. Jeez, it's ruddy hot in here, man. I'm sitting behind these studio lights. Every time I put a vest on, you guys either get overexcited or offended. In my own house, can't even wear a vest. Ridiculous. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Today we're going to talk about N'Golo Kante to West Ham. Yep. Romano has referenced Nico Williams, Barcelona, and the financial fair play problems, and the potentiality, and how it's possible for a Premier League club to go in. Chelsea, Arsenal, very interested, he says. And Chelsea are in talks to sign 35 million pound former Man United star after Enzo Maresca approval. Spoiler, it's Andreas Pereira. Yeah. No Enzo talk today, although there's plenty of stuff going around, but this should just be other stories, so that'll be refreshing. Strap yourselves in. Thank you as always for supporting the content. Super simple. You just drop a like on the video. It helps us out in the deep dark abyss that is the YouTube algorithm. And if you choose to subscribe, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Yeah. Alright, mate. So just quickly, I do want to reference the fact how Romano spoke about Nico Williams in his latest YouTube video. It was uploaded last night, the 18th of July. We are on the 19th at time of recording in the morning. He's explained Nico Williams that Barcelona are trying to get the deal done, and they're trying to present the project slash salary to the young Spanish left winger. I think understandably as a young Spaniard he'd prefer to go to Barcelona. Barcelona are in, I don't want to say financial ruin, but they are in very strict parameters, and of course, you know, moving forwards after they pulled all those levers, they are in a delicate place. I understand why they want Nico. I understand why Nico wants him. You know, just like he's just won the Euros playing on the wings with Lamine Yamal, who plays for Barcelona, both Spanish. Totally makes sense. But they have to be able to do a deal. And if they can't, say due to financial fair play parameters, maybe they just think, this is me speculating, guys, so this isn't presenting news at all. What if they're thinking, right, he wants to come, so hopefully we can utilize that and do some shifting in terms of pay structure and front and backload some payments or something. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but the way Romano's presenting it is that they need to find a way to like convince him to join, and through financial parameters. So maybe there's a chance if he's like, well, bun this, I want to go to the Premier League. Of course, you could say Arsenal are very good; they've been consistently good for 2 years, but we've got a man on the inside. We've got Cucurella. He eats paella and he drinks Estrella, but isn't it Estrella? Spanish pronunciation. Obviously, he linked up with him very well on the left wing, playing for Spain, winning the European Championships. But, of course, worth mentioning that with Chelsea, if we are to believe the way things are going, Cucurella will be an inverting left back, so he won't be the guy covering Nico's rear, essentially, so to speak. Still, something to watch. It's not dead in the water, I don't think, entirely, but of course, Chelsea don't want to pay the wages that he has there. Maybe we can offer him like less wages than Barca, but actually pay them to him, which is something. Actually honor the payments. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Alright, so West Ham in talks to bring N'Golo Kante back to the Premier League from Saudi Arabia for 20 million quid. A London rival, N'Golo Kante, who for a few games in the Euros looked absolutely incredible. Looked like he was prime Kante. Let's have a look at what The Guardian is saying. West Ham hope to sign the former Chelsea midfielder N'Golo Kante from Al Ittihad. By the way, multiple Premier League winner N'Golo Kante, including the fairy tale of Leicester. Champions League winner N'Golo Kante. Europa League winner N'Golo Kante. FA Cup winner N'Golo Kante. Did I say World Cup as well? He's won it all. Incredible, including loads of like individual awards and PFA and stuff, etc. Negotiations between the two parties are ongoing, and there is plenty of willingness to get the deal done on both sides for the 33-year-old who played for France, of course, in Euro 2024. Yeah, like, he's not that old, is he? Kante, who moved to Saudi Arabia in 2023 after 7 years with Chelsea, and I believe it's 2 contracts, a contract and a better paid contract extension, is thought to be happy with his current club, but is open to returning to London. West Ham would need to pay in the region of £20 million to acquire the midfielder, who proved in Euro 2024 that he still has the ability to play at the highest level. Pause. There is no way West Ham are paying Al Ittifaq wages. They just simply aren't. And Al Ittifaq, they've played a blinder there, haven't they? Got N'Golo Kante for a free. Granted, paid him probably insane wages, but then made £20 million back. You know, we should have done that. Signed him on a 1+1 year and sold him for 20 million. Look, Chelsea let N'Golo Kante go with his blessing and did like a really nice goodbye, and know that, you know, when you go as a free, it's better for the player. You have all this control, and I think Chelsea wanted to grant that to, you know, let's be honest, a legend N'Golo Kante. 20 million quid though. The fact that we bought him for 30 million still blows my mind. What a deal that was. Our two most undisputed world-class players in the last decade are N'Golo Kante and Eden Hazard, and we got them both for maybe just over 60 million quid. Similar to what we bought Romeo Lavia for. Times are changing, boys and girls. The Hammers are eager to sign a defensive midfielder after Calvin Phillips did not live up to expectations during a loan spell for Man City last season, and his deal was not made permanent. I feel bad for Calvin Phillips. It's going so well when he was at Leeds, and he was important for England. Look, he wasn't really high profile and exciting, but you know, he was important for England next to Declan Rice. His profile was important, and then that Man City move was just an absolute career killer. Their new manager, Julen Lopetegui, is a long-term admirer of Kante, well, who isn't, and wanted to sign the midfielder during his brief spell in charge at Real Madrid. I bet you did, mate. West Ham were previously interested in the Spain midfielder, Alex Garcia, but he chose to join the Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen. Kante enjoyed 8 years in England after moving from Leicester from Cannes, which is in Ligue 2, I believe. He was a pivotal member, of course, of the Foxes winning the league, and Chelsea won the league, and then he won everything else. He is an incredible football. Why does he want to go to West Ham? If he's happy at Al Ittifaq, maybe he's like, I miss Europe, maybe, and you know, I don't mind staying here and I get paid a lot of money, but it would be quite nice to go back and play in the Premier League again. Maybe he's thinking that. I don't know. Who knows what he's thinking? Do I want to see him at West Ham? Absolutely not. But whatever makes him happy. If it makes him happy, let him go. If you love him, let him go. 33. I don't know. Lots of people will be saying like, oh, we should have kept him. No one was really saying that last year. Look, he was really riddled with injury. We thought, okay, maybe the Prem's just too hardcore. He's got, Sarri shouldn't have played him in that final. He was not dealt with really well at Chelsea in terms of managing his injuries. He came back for that Champions League run like a superstar, but then sort of dropped off. We didn't really see him as Kante again until the Euros for France, but maybe that's because he had been taking it easy in Saudi or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tricky. I'm not saying, yeah. I mean, I think people like all gooey eyes going, oh, we should have him, not West Ham. But I think, the truth is that no one was really complaining after 7 years and maybe not his best, and letting him go and get the bag essentially in Saudi. It was like, yeah, wicked. Good luck, mate, and thank you. Weird. All right, look. So this is on the Metro, this Andreas Pereira story. I think it originally came from Brazilian media. Pinch of salt, guys. Apparently Enzo Maresca's approved him. If this story develops, we will look at his stats again. Pereira, I always I always liked Andreas Pereira. I thought he was just another like lost talent at Man United. I didn't think he was amazing. He was good for Fulham. Does he play for Fulham now? Where does he play now? Yeah. Oh, he does play for Fulham now. Still at Fulham. We love getting the odd. Oh, hold on. No, we don't love getting. I was speaking to my mate who supports Fulham the other day, and we were like racking our brains because loads of Chelsea players go to Fulham, like often on loan, like, you know, your Loftus-Cheeks and other players and stuff. But you know, like Willian and other people, but linked to Brewers links and stuff. Chelsea players go to Fulham, but Fulham players don't go to Chelsea. And we were racking our brains trying to think of him, and he was like, "Oh, I know one." And he's in your current squad. And he thought he'd got me there. Like, he says, you're never going to guess it. And I'm like, oh, Marcus Bettinelli. Third choice goalkeeper. Because he played in the Championship, Bettinelli played the whole season as a really good first team goalkeeper. And we signed him in his 20s. And I remember everyone thought he was this guy mid-30s. But I was like, no, he's younger than Edouard Mendy, who's playing in goal for us. Only by like a month or something. But it was really funny that, you know, we thought this like Fulham goalkeeper was really old, but he was younger than our first team goalkeeper. He's just happy to play that third choice keeper role, which is fair play to him. Anyway, yes, so this could be like the first outfield Fulham player to Chelsea in 1,000 years, maybe ever. I'm not entirely sure. Premier League here. So Chris Davey of the Metro writes this: Chelsea are in talks to sign Fulham midfielder Andreas Pereira, according to reports in Brazil. Enzo Maresca's side have already made 5 signings this summer. Of course, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, the attacking midfielder, Amari Kellyman, the attacking midfielder, Renato Vega, the defender/defensive midfielder, Mark Gu, and it's it's G-U-I-U. G-U-I-U. Apparently it's pronounced Gu, and people are saying, why am I calling him that? Apparently it's that. And of course, Tosin Adarabioyo. They're still in the market to bolster their squad even further ahead of the new Premier League season, and a new reinforcement for central midfield is on the club's shortlist. Pause. Why? Because I was reading stuff like, we've got loads of midfielders now. The fact that we bought Dewsbury-Hall was like, this ain't good for like Santos and Cassidy, and, you know, wow, it's not looking good. He's going to replace Gallagher. But yeah, we're also reading that if Gallagher goes, it doesn't even mean we're going to sign a midfielder. So, strange. According to Globo, which is where it's being cited here, Chelsea have already made contact with Pereira's agent, Kia Jarab... I can never say his name. Jarabchian, Kia Jarabchian, who, yeah, wasn't he like Willian's agent as well? We've got a good relationship with him historically, to discuss the Brazil international's possible move to Stamford Bridge this summer. The reports claim that Maresca has personally approved Chelsea's push to sign Pereira, and the club are ready to pay up to £35 million sterling. That's a lot of peas, bro. Pereira, meanwhile, is said to have reached verbal agreement with Fulham that would allow him to leave Craven Cottage if they receive an acceptable offer. Well, that is an acceptable offer, mate. I mean, did they give him on a free transfer? Monaco, who finished second in Ligue 1 last season, will be in the revamped Champions League this term, have also made an approach to him. However, Pereira's preference would be to remain in London and join Chelsea. And also, you don't need to move, bro. You're in Fulham. We're in Fulham. Yeah, don't need to move house. Chelsea have identified Pereira as a potential replacement for Conor Gallagher, who could leave Stamford Bridge before the end of the summer transfer window, as he's just a year remaining on his contract. Tottenham, Atletico Madrid and Villa, of course, are interested in Gallagher, who we value at 50 million. We're never getting 50 million. Pereira, meanwhile, made 3 substitute appearances for Brazil at the Copa America this summer and has stayed in the United States on holiday with his family. That's nice. He is due to report to Fulham at the end of the month for their pre-season camp in Portugal. Ooh, lovely. Fulham signed Pereira, there you go, £10 million. It wasn't on a free. £10 million from Man United 2 years ago. Last season, the Brazilian scored 3 goals and registered 7 assists in the Prem. Played nearly every game, though. Yeah, he's... I don't know, man. He's quality. All these, like, Mount haters, probably the same people. Conor Gallagher haters would probably look at Pereira and be like, yes, a bit of culture and, you know, tactical ability and stuff like that. He is good. he is good under Pereira, but I don't see why we need him. You know, personally, I don't see why we need it. Unless Chelsea are thinking, oh, he's got good passing and, you know, what, Enzo's on the way out here. I'm not talking about Enzo. But, I don't know, man. You don't look at Conor Gallagher. I suppose we're not trying to replace Conor Gallagher. I guess the whole thing is Conor Gallagher might not suit this football that we're playing. So you're not trying to replace Conor Gallagher in his profile because that's part of the reason why you're selling him, maybe. So you're bringing in a profile you think is appropriate for the style of football. And if we are to believe, pinch of salt, if we are to believe this Brazilian report, the Chelsea manager, Enzo Maresca, has given his blessing and he wants the player. And maybe he thinks, okay, this guy can do what I want. And if there's one thing we know, if we know very little, but if there's one thing we do know about Enzo Maresca is he's a meticulous analyst when it comes to watching players. So we'll see what happens there. Interesting. Very, very interesting. As always, put it out to you guys. Let me know what you think about Kante to West Ham. Nico Williams, maybe. Barcelona. And, of course, Andreas Pereira to Chelsea. Might be quite funny if he does well. Laugh at Man United. Huh? Anyway, keep it locked. I'll be back later. Turn the bell on when you subscribe. Peace.